Welcome back to Jay All Day, everyone. In this episode, I'm going to make my predictions for all of Week 7 NFL games. We start Thursday, Jaguars at the Saints. Trevor Lawrence is said to be a game-time decision, but I like Jacksonville in this game if Trevor Lawrence plays. The Saints are at home, and the defense is pretty good, but that offensive line is super banged up, and Derek Carr just is... he sucks. I'm not a big Derek Carr fan. The Jaguars defense has been playing better. They've been getting more pressure on the quarterback. It is a short week for Trevor Lawrence to recover, but I expect him to play. I like the Jaguars in this spot, 21-17. Next, we move on to the Raiders traveling to Chicago to play the Bears without Justin Fields. The Raiders have looked a lot better as of late. Max Crosby has 38 quarterback pressure. That's good enough for tops in the NFL. And this is a really interesting stat. The Raiders in their first 4 games allowed 25 points per game and only had 1 takeaway. In the last 2 games, they had 4 takeaways and only allowed 15 points per game. So that defense is playing pretty good. No Justin Fields. I'm going with the Raiders to win this game 23-10. The Cleveland Browns and their vaunted defense travel to Indianapolis to play the Colts. Anthony Richardson is done for the year, guys. So Gardner Minshew is now the lead quarterback going forward. He's looked pretty terrible this year. He makes really bad decisions. He turns the ball over. I think this Browns defense is going to eat up the Colts. For the Colts to have a chance, they have to run the ball effectively, but I think the Browns defense is going to be way too much. I like the Browns 24-10. On deck is the Bills on the road against a terrible Patriots team who is 0-3 at home and 1-5 overall. They might have the worst starting quarterback in the NFL and Mac Jones. I don't know, Gardner Minshew's pretty close too. But the Bills have not been playing great as of late. But I just don't see any chance that the Patriots have of taking this game. They can't play defense. They can't move the ball on offense. I like the Bills and Stephon Diggs to get right in this game for sure. Since week 4, Mac Jones is 0-3 with an 0-7 touchdown to turnover ratio. He's absolutely garbage. I like for the Bills to probably even cover this 8.5 spread. I like 28-13 Buffalo. We have another division game. The Washington Commanders travel to New York to play the New York Giants. Sam Howell has actually been playing a lot better as of late. He seems to be getting comfortable in that offense, and the Giants just shoot themselves in the foot. I don't know if Daniel Jones is going to play, but Tyrod Taylor made some really poor decisions that ultimately cost them the game in Buffalo last week. Man, the Giants are terrible. 1-5, 0-2 at home. I like Sam Howell and that Commanders defense to swarm the Giants and win a pretty low-scoring game. I'm going 17-14 Commanders. Then we go to the Atlanta Falcons, traveling to Tampa Bay to play the Buccaneers. Desmond Ridder is 0-4 on the road and only averaging 10 points per game. He also has been sacked 11 times. I don't like the Atlanta Falcons in this spot. Traveling on the road, I like Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield and that offense don't turn the ball over a lot. They don't make a lot of mistakes, so I think they're going to do just enough to get this win over this young, inexperienced Falcons team. I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this game 27-20. Then we move on to the Lions on the road versus the Ravens. The Ravens, like in every metric, are really, really successful. They're 4th in points per game, 2nd in yards per game, and 2nd in yards per play. And then you look at this team playing games and you're like, how are they winning so many games? They make a lot of mistakes. The wide receiver position has been really terrible, and they have offensive line issues. 9 turnovers. I don't get how they're so successful with all these metrics. So sometimes these statistics don't really necessarily correlate to what you're actually seeing on the field, and that's why I like the Lions to go on the road. They're also 3-0 on the road this season to get a victory over the Ravens pretty easily. Jared Goff has been great this season. 1,600 yards, 11 touchdowns, only 3 picks. I'm going Lions all day, baby. 28-17. Then Pittsburgh at the Rams. I love the Rams in this spot. I don't believe in Pittsburgh's offense at all whatsoever. The Rams defense isn't super good, but Kenny Pickett and the Steelers, not so good, guys. Not so good. That defense is going to be on the field a lot, and they have a lot of guys they have to cover. Puka Nacua. Cooper Kupp is back and healthy. Matt Stafford's thrown for almost 1,700 yards this year. I would like to see more touchdowns out of Matt Stafford. 6-5 touchdown to interception ratio is not great. But Puka Nacua almost has 600 yards receiving already. I like the Rams to win this game 23-14. Next, we have the Cardinals at the Seahawks. The wheels are falling off in Arizona. 1-5, 0-3 on the road. It's always hard to play in Seattle. They have great fans up there. I like for Geno Smith to kind of right the ship with DK Metcalf this week. I like the Seahawks at home 24-14. And then we have a battle of two pretty bad teams in the Packers and the Broncos. Packers are 2-3, 1-2 on the road. Broncos are 1-5 and 0-3 at home. I don't know what breaks in this game. Man, Russell Wilson, when you look at the stats, 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns, only 4 picks, you're like, oh, he's having a pretty good year. And then you see that 1-5 record, you're like, oh, their defense is hot garbage. So the Packers might get right this week against the Broncos. I just can't bet on the Broncos this week. I like the Packers to go on the road and get a close victory. I'm saying 14-13 Packers. Then we have the Chargers on the road playing the Chiefs. The Chiefs are always tough to play at home. Patrick Mahomes, 1,600 yards, 11 touchdowns, 5 TDs. I like that for the Chiefs. This is going to be a close game. Division rivalry games are always super close. Patrick Mahomes is 28-3 versus division, and Justin Herbert is 2-4 versus the Chiefs. I like that trend to continue. I like the Chiefs here, 24-13. And then we have the Dolphins versus the Eagles. A lot of people are picking the Eagles, but I'm going against the grain. That Eagles secondary is absolutely terrible. Their defensive coordinator, Sean Desai, doesn't like to dial up pressure. I think Tyreek Hill goes for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Eagles. The Dolphins move to 6-1 and get the victory over the soon-to-be 5-2 Philadelphia Eagles. And then Monday night, we have the 49ers on the road versus the Vikings. I'm going with the 49ers to win this game, but you got to check the injury report. I'm thinking about taking the 49ers in my suicide pool, but if Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, and Trent Williams do not play, I'm going to have to pivot and go with someone else. I like the 49ers to get a victory here. Let's say 23-13 49ers. And then we have a bunch of teams on the bye. Bengals, Cowboys, Titans, Jets, Panthers, Texans. Let me know in the comments below. Do you like my picks? Am I an absolute dipshit? Let me know. Don't forget to subscribe. We really appreciate you guys tuning in to the channel. Thanks again, and we'll catch you on the next video.